What do you have to think about to take care of yourself outdoors? How did people stay warm? How did they plan for the weather? Did they know when storms were coming?
We used to have people that could read the weather. Now they read the weather. They'll turn on the weather station right there. But they had that gift by seeing the plants, how they grew, the animals, how soon they got their winter fur.
My grandmother, she still has a lot of that traditional knowledge of what animals were like back then, to be able to look at an animal and say, oh, okay, this is the type of season that we're going to have. And I remember she would talk about like little things such as ants. She'd be watching and she'd show me if their houses were built upwards, it's going to be a wet summer. As opposed to a little bit lower, it's going to be dry, because they build their houses up because the water won't go into their homes. And in the wintertime, she would look at, we had a muskrat that lived in a lake near our house, and if he had his house on the inside of the lake, it's going to be a hard winter. And if it's on the outside of the lake, near the edge of the shore, it would be not so harsh of a winter. And just stuff like, I think she would call it sun dogs. They would be, if there's two of them on each side of the sun, it's change of weather as well. And there would be even a ring around the sun or the moon at nighttime, and that would mean it would be colder weather. My grandmother would make comments with little kids running around in the house. Oh, it's gonna be change of weather. The wind's gonna blow or something. And she'd make that comment because even with the horses running, it's change of weather. So she'd make that connection with children and animals. She was so in tune with what her mother had taught her, and so I would pay attention a lot of the times because it was so interesting to know what she knew.
What kinds of fuel did people use?
I had my grandma gather wood. She'd put her ropes there and pile all the wood. Then to throw it on her backpack, stack it. Would have a big stack of wood, dry wood. Then when they're going to dry meat, they have wood right there. They never let their fire go down.
Out on the prairie where wood was scarce, do you know what people used for fuel? I'll give you a hint. Some people call these chips, and others call them pies. The buffalo left them all over the prairie.